It's the authorship game, and here is your authorial host, James Patrick Holding!
Thank you. Good evening, folks. Welcome to the authorship game, where we pair up authors with anonymous documents. Let's begin by meeting our three authors. Johnny?
Thanks, JP! Author 1 tonight is from the great city of Tarsus, where he makes tents and studies the Torah. In his spare time, he likes skydiving and playing tiddlywinks. And he's also recognized as the unofficial record holder for the most finger push-ups at Pharisee University. Please welcome Paul! Author 2 hails from the Roman colony of Philippi. He's a successful physician who enjoys sea travel, and when he's not doing that, he likes to trim his toenails. Please welcome Luke! And here's author 3. This young man calls Alexandria, Egypt, his home. He's got a career as a public speaker and teacher. He collects mouthwash bottles, and he's recently been given a grant to study lima beans. Here he is, Apollos!
Thank you, Chuck. Now it's time to meet our anonymous document for the evening. And here she is, the letter to the Hebrews. Hello there.
Hi, Mr. Holding.
So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm kind of a longish letter. My main theme is how Christ fulfills the promises of the Old Testament and the Jewish cultic rituals. And I also have one of the most specific Christologies in the New Testament.
Oh, that's pretty fascinating. Okay, well, let's get started, and you all know the rules. Our letter here will ask you authors some questions, and at the end she picks one of you for her author. And they'll win what, Johnny?
JP, our lucky winners tonight will receive an all-expenses-paid trip to the Grand Slapavia Resort in sunny Tierra del Fuego. Plus, they'll also receive this washer and dryer, a very inexpensive radio, and a year's supply of lint.
Whoa, that's one of our better prize packages of late. Okay, Ms. Hebrews, you can get started with the questions.
Okay, let's start with author number 1. Number 1, who says you're my author?
Well, to be honest, there are only a couple of people, Clement of Alexandria and Origen, who say I was your author, but they also say that someone else acted as my scribe.
Oh, really? Who?
Him.
Luke, really? That's interesting. 2 people say Paul was your author and that he used Luke as your scribe. Huh.
Well, only Clement says that specifically. Origen just reports that others say I was the scribe.
Well, that takes care of my question for number 2. Number 3, let me ask you the same question. Who says you're my author?
Well, actually, no one suggested me as your author until Martin Luther.
Number 1, if you were a tree in the forest, what kind of tree would you be?
A bald cypress.
Good one. Number 2, you say you're a physician, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, then my question to you is, what is the highest prime number which corresponds with the square root of the hypotenuse between your office door and the top of Mount Olympus?
Oh yeah, that would be 31.
Smarty pants. Okay, number 3. I'd like to ask you, if your house was on fire, what 3 things would you try to save?
I live in a condominium.
Okay, we have time for one more question.
Fine with me. Number 1. What internal evidence of content is given for and against you being my author?
Well, the main evidence for is that you have a lot of ideas similar to mine. But there's an awful lot more evidence against. Your writing style is way unlike mine, though of course that could mean I had a scribe to help. But maybe the strongest evidence against is your passage in chapter 2, verse 3, which speaks of the author as being one of those who heard Jesus. It might be stretching things a bit to say it refers to my encounter with Jesus on the Damascus Road.
Okay. Number 2. Let me ask you the same question, please.
Well, your writing style and language has affinities with mine.
Oh, that's pretty good evidence.
Well, to be fair, your author seems to have a lot more proficiency with the Old Testament.
Aww. Oh well. Now last. Number 3. What's your answer to that question?
Well, I'm from Alexandria. And you do show some affinities with Alexandrian philosophical and theological thought. And you're also eloquent and bold and proficient with the scriptures, just like a lot of people say I am.
Aw, that was a sweet thing to say. Thanks.
Okay, so Ms. Hebrews, now you have to make your choice. Will it be author number 1, author number 2, or author number 3?
Why can't I pick all 3 of them?
Beg pardon?
Well, sure. I mean, why not? Origen and Clement already say I was a team effort.
Gentlemen, you're all going to Tierra del Fuego. So that's all for this episode of the Authorship Game. Tune in next week when our document will be the novel Primary Colors. See you next time.